Hello there, friends, and welcome to episode 79 of That One Gaming Podcast. My name is Colin, but I'm otherwise known as Delicious Morsels, and here with me today is Lucas, aka Carn Evil 9. How is Lucas doing today?
Doing all right.
All right, and we've also got Neal here, better known as VMK89. How is Neal today?
I'm doing pretty swell.
Pretty swell indeed. If you are new to this podcast, welcome. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or one of the many other podcasting platforms out there where the three of us get together every other week to talk about a variety of topics in the world of gaming. And this week, we are going to be discussing role-playing games, or RPGs for short. These games come in many varieties, both in gameplay and structure. Some RPGs favor an approach similar to Dungeons & Dragons, providing many means for the player to craft their own narratives, while others lean more heavily into the story they wish to tell and allow players other methods to customize their experience. From Dragon Quest to Elder Scrolls, Final Fantasy to The Witcher, this genre is incredibly vast, especially in the modern era when most AAA games incorporate features from RPGs in some way, shape, or form. And we're going to do our best to talk about it here today, but before we get into that, we'd like to talk about the games that we have been playing since the last episode. So, Lucas, what have you been playing?
Final Fantasy IV.
Some more. Final Fantasy IV.
Indeed. I started playing through the Pixel remaster.
Yes! It's so good.
It's fantastic.
Are you just playing it naturally, or did you throw some boosts on just to get through it quicker?
I threw some boosts on to get through it quicker. Yeah. But first Pixel remaster, so I gotta take in all the features they've added in, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the underworld, and I'm supposed to be going to the one cave to get the last crystal, but I'm instead doing a bunch of side quests because I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about the Sylph homeland in my playthrough that I was doing on the Pixel remaster. So I went back to that after the fact, and I was like, oh, I completely forgot about this.
Yeah, there's definitely no reason you have to wait until after Cain betrays you for the who knows how manyth time.
What?
Spoilers.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly betrays you.
That's the plot. That's the plot summary of Final Fantasy IV is Cain betrays you.
Allegedly.
Something needs to report. Allegedly, Cain betrayed his team. Cops are still investigating at this time and did not comment.
The guy with the Magic the Gathering card with literal traitor in the title betrays your team. Allegedly.
I can't believe Wizards of the Coast spoiled the plot of Final Fantasy IV.
How could they? How dare they?
How dare they?
It's like, that's it. That's the entire plot.
Like, I have a lot of questions for you. First of all, how dare you?
Yeah. How most of the interactions with Cain go in this game, actually.
Right? So I have not actually played enough of the Super Nintendo version myself to really compare the two side by side.
Well, that's why I did this.
I guess we can save like a full side by side for next episode, because we might be talking about Final Fantasy IV some more next episode maybe.
Perhaps.
But like a quick A to B, what are some immediately some things that stood out?
Enemy names are different.
Yeah.
Because they've been retranslated to be more accurate. Yeah. Most of what I've picked up on is like script differences. Some of the characters have their like actions reintroduced that weren't in the Super Nintendo version. Like Yang has his focus and gird abilities in Pixel Remaster, but he doesn't have those in the SNES version.
So interestingly, you mentioned those specifically also. So I noticed that they also function differently in the Pixel Remaster than they do from the 3D version.
Interesting.
If I'm recalling correctly, I think I'm right about this, but it's been a couple of years since I played the 3D version. But in a 3D version, when you select focus, that automatically doubles the power of whatever you select next turn.
Oh.
Whereas in the Pixel Remaster, you just select focus and it's a predetermined action that he does after that.
Yeah, it's essentially just a double strength attack.
Yeah. Yep. But in the 3D version, you can actually pair that with kick.
Hell yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah. Dude, doubling up on kick would be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while since I played it, but I'm pretty sure it worked that way.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I guess I could just get my DS copy out and check.
True.
Maybe
I can definitely see why you own as many copies of Final Fantasy IV as you do, because this game is great.
Yeah, I love Final Fantasy IV so much. Yeah, I will either pull up my save file on PC, or maybe I'll just get my DS copy out, because I know I'm pretty sure I've got a save file on my DS copy that's got Yang in the party still, and just double check and make sure I'm right on how that works, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Oh, cool. There's a 3D version on PC too?
Yeah. Yeah, they ported the DS version to PC.
Nice.
Same thing with the DS version of Final Fantasy III, which is not as good in my eyes.
You mean Final Fantasy VI?
No, 3.
That is 6.
No, 3.
That's what the Super Nintendo version is.
I hate that I don't like the DS version of Final Fantasy III more, because they did a lot in that game to kind of rewrite it and make each of the Warriors of Light their own characters, instead of just being generic people like they were in Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah.
And the original Final Fantasy 3, of course. But there's
is it kind of that way in Final Fantasy 2 as well, or is that just like...
No, Final Fantasy 2 is actually has like a cast of characters.
Interesting.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 2, like, it gets a lot of flack because it was kind of rough, especially the original releases, and even the Game Boy Advance release I found was kind of rough. The Pixel Remaster is still, I mean, you're doing the best you can with a game that was a little ambitious for its time, but it's for like a game that came out in 1988. The story it tells and the level of like competency in which it tells its story is impressive. Like, it's not going to hold a candle to like a Final Fantasy 6, 7, or 10 by any means in quality of storytelling. Not even a Final Fantasy 4 really, but this game came out on the NES in 1988. Like less than 12 months after the first game.
Yep.
Like, that's impressive.
That is some like Mega Man 3 from Mega Man 2 levels of crunch there.
Yeah, like it's impressive that in addition to it telling a full story the way it did, like it also did so with an incredibly ambitious progression system for the time.
Yeah.
Because this game used like a Skyrim style progression system where the more you use an item or magic, you level up with that specific like weapon or spell and stuff. So I mean, granted, this was an NES game in 1988, so it didn't function great, but it
Yeah.
was functional mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was wondering about Final Fantasy 2 because it's like as a joke, I started up my copy of the Final Fantasy 2 NES prototype English localization ROM that I have definitely obtained through legal means many, many years ago. Don't ask how I got it. Um, and just like
Allegedly.
with just like with Final Fantasy 1 though, like the first thing I was greeted with was a like character class select. So, yeah, it was yeah.
Now I'm curious to see that ROM.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Final Fantasy 2, like, it has, I mean, you can name the characters, but their classes they don't really have classes so much because every character you can equip them with any weapon and then level them up with that weapon.
Interesting. So perhaps it's more of just like an aesthetic choice of like what traditional Final Fantasy job you want them to look like.
Maybe. But they also had their own predefined, like, looks. Like, they were, like, it was closer to a Final Fantasy 4 than a Final Fantasy 1, if that makes sense.
Wild how much Final Fantasy I've been playing as a result of curiosity now. We'll
Maybe
get
one
into
day you'll
that
get-
more later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe one day you'll get curious enough to try 7.
You mean 4?
Or,
What if I finish? I might finish Mystic Quest finally.
Oh my god.
I can't
should
believe I might have to revisit Crystal Chronicles.
Oh no. No, don't do that.
Hey,
You
I liked
spare
Crystal
yourself from that.
Chronicles. It reminded me of Phantasy Star Online.
I wonder if we can manage a co-op Crystal Chronicles through Dolphin.
We might be able to.
That might make it playable.
Yeah.
That game was
Is it
not
only
a fun.
2 players or 3?
It can support up to 4 players.
It supports up to 4,
multiplayer.
yeah.
Oh, hot dang. This is a thing we should do.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we might have to try that.
Yeah, that might actually make that game playable for me because the single player experience was not good.
It's very lackluster because instead of they kind of group together all of the like individual mechanics that the 4 multiplayer players would have together on one character, but instead of one person carrying the Myrrh Chalice for you, you have a Moogle that tags along with you that occasionally will get tired of carrying the chalice.
Huh.
Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but also like I had experienced Phantasy Star Online at this point, and it kind of reminded me of that. So,
Right.
It didn't remind me of Phantasy Star Online, and I had experienced it at that point too.
yeah. There are aspects of it, mostly that it was rather than a traditional Final Fantasy turn-based game. It was
more of an action RPG.
Yeah. But yeah, your weapon progression was definitely a lot slower, and from what I remember, a lot of your like you'd pick up spell orbs that would allow you to cast fire, thunder, ice, and you could combine those elements together to create other things. And I remember most of the time it's like as soon as you found, I think it was either cure or life, and combined them with any of the like 3 elements from the element triangle, you would get life, and that was just the best spell to use on everything. But then you could also find rings that had the element that you could take between areas, which it grossly simplified that, so you could actually just enter areas with holy already, and yeah, even more greatly simplified the gameplay. I don't know, I still thought Crystal Chronicles was fun, so.
It's too bad the remastered version that came out a few years ago was bad.
Yeah.
that would have been a good opportunity to play it on modern systems
Yeah.
and reevaluate it at that point. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't think I have my copy of Crystal Chronicles anymore, because I think that went with my sister when she moved to North Dakota.
Oh.
Well, then how will you dump a ROM for it for Dolphin?
Yeah, how would I do that? Especially because most GameCube discs can't be read unless it's by like specific disk drives with possibly altered firmware. Oh wait, I keep forgetting the Wii exists, and the Wii can definitely dump games because that thing was so jailbroken.
Sure was.
Yep.
Actually, I
And
haven't jailbroken my Wii.
I haven't either, but I have two of them, so I can definitely make one of them a jailbroken one.
Right.
You know, for the express purpose of backing up my games and not playing pirated content, because that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Especially if it is a current gen console.
Yeah.
Especially if it is a current gen console.
Yep. You're going to get the emulation scene into trouble again, and maybe this time Nintendo will kill emulation because of it. I'm looking at you, Yuzu team.
Yeah, don't be like the Yuzu team.
Yep. You learn from the mistakes of the Ultra HLE developers, Reality Man and Epsilon. Or you can look at the developer of Bleem and, well, you know, he sort of made off okay. Like, Bleem got to stay in existence, sort of. The court ruled in his favor on emulation being legal because it was like you were still purchasing, or you still needed to purchase copies of the game that you wanted to play on the emulator in order to play games on the emulator instead of a PlayStation. But he ended up going bankrupt over it, and Bleem dissolved after that. But Sony hired him to work on the backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 1 on the PlayStation 2. So, who's the real winner?
Secure job? I think him.
Like, imagine being taken to court over reverse engineering their console to be able to play it on, or play the games on that console on a completely different platform.
That's pretty
And
neat.
then being hired in because you have all of this expertise of how to make the PlayStation 1 work on things that are not the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
This What Have We Been Playing has been really, really derailed, thanks to me.
Neal, what have you been playing?
I've been playing
Yes,
Final
we are still in
Fantasy.
this segment.
I've been playing Final Fantasy IV.
Wow,
allegedly.
topical. It's like we're going to be talking about RPGs today, too.
Yeah. Huh. Is it a theme month?
We just
Loosely.
went into our main topic without realizing it, I guess.
We did. We have a very
Yeah.
RPG heavy what we've been playing so far, which is very topical because we're talking about RPGs today.
But yeah, I actually haven't been playing a ton of games recently. I've been doing more video editing kind of stuff and podcast production stuff. But yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy IV. I really need to buckle down and like play that game for an hour or two at some point when I'm here. It feels kind of
More than
weird because
that.
yeah, I mean a day. It's kind of weird that it's on my phone. I'm kind of glad that I started on my phone because I did leave my Switch at our Magic Group night. The person who hosts its home. So I wouldn't have been able to play it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um,
I wasn't there this week. Did you remember to grab it?
mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
fortunately. But yeah, no. I don't know. Something about it being on the phone. Part of it is that like my phone is kind of wonky with charging, so I got to make sure it's charged before I play it. too much on Final Fantasy because that does take up the battery a bit. It's an old phone, and I need to get a newer one. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting for the story to really hook me in. I'm sure that'll happen based on what you guys are saying, but it hasn't happened yet. I am in the cave. I assume this is pretty early on. I'm in the cave and met the random wizard guy who's initially like, "Hey, no, don't come here." And then you go back and he's like, "Oh, hey, help me."
You are still
Yeah, I'm
so
really-
early.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also spent a bunch of time just like leveling. I think I'm. Where am I? Hold on.
Oh,
Edit out this post.
you should
Yeah.
stop doing that.
Oh, really?
Honestly,
You
yeah.
should stop doing that right now and just progress the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll
I
thank
won't
us
ask
later.
anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Tella gets story progress based additions to his spell list. Rydia gets story progress based upgrades to her spell list.
Yeah. Yeah, Final
Ooh.
Fantasy IV is definitely designed to just play the story.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then later on in the game, there's a few side quests and stuff you can do, but it's pretty well balanced, especially if you've got a couple boosts on for like experience and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty well balanced.
Yeah. Even
Hopefully,
the
I
Super
didn't miss
Nintendo
anything.
version is pretty well balanced because like there was maybe one spot where I had to grind levels, and that was
Yeah.
just like one additional level to learn Lightning 3 or whatever they call it nowadays.
Yeah, there's just like one very specific thing that happens in the story relatively early on that if you grind too much before that, you're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay. What level would be the cap?
I just whatever you're at now is probably good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying I grinded a lot, and I want to know if I should
Yeah.
restart.
Well, you shouldn't restart, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not you have to restart sort of level grinding. It's more of just like
the story is going to
diminishing
do some
returns.
the story is going to do some things to you and you're going to be like, "Oh, what the hell? I spent all this time for nothing," quote unquote.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some people that like on Twitter and stuff playing Final Fantasy IV for the first time and then they approach it like they would
Final
like
Fantasy 1.
Final Fantasy 1 and they're like,
Yeah.
let's do some level grinding in the early game and stuff, and then they'll set us up for the rest of the game. And then something happens in the story, and they're like, "Oh my god, this game is terrible." It's like,
Yep.
no,
Great.
It's
This
actually-
character's
it's
back at
just
level
a
1
very,
now.
it's just a very well balanced RPG, and you don't need to level grind.
No, well, that's actually pretty cool then.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
I mean, grinding as an option is there if you are struggling with like a boss fight or something like that, but generally the game is very, very well balanced.
It,
Okay.
And
it's
especially like if you just turn on the 4x experience boost, you will never have to grind in that game.
yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's learn before it was completely punished, hopefully. Uh,
Yeah, you
I-
should be fine.
well, the thing is, like, level grinding on this isn't too rough for me, just because what I was doing is basically I had my phone, like, sitting out at work, and I just tap it a couple times and then continue doing what I was doing, coming back, and because of the auto fighting thing,
Yeah.
I was
Taking
grinding.
advantage of the auto battle. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's been annoying grinding. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean the auto battling definitely also makes it a lot easier.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That does remind me, though, it's just like another point of comparison between the Pixel remaster and the SNES versions. That like I remember, maybe light spoilers from, unless you're on the Discord server, but like Colin mentioning that like by the time you had gotten to Edge, everyone else in the party was like level 40, and he joins at level 20.
20, yeah, like 20 or 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was no grinding. That was just 4x boost.
Yep. And I mean, I had the same thing when I got to that point in Pixel Remastered, but on the
Yeah.
Super Nintendo version, everyone in the party was still at about the same level as what Edge is when he joins you.
Yeah.
And even then, I still did not have to grind. So yeah, this game is very much geared into just follow the story and you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
It's actually impressive how well they nailed it.
Yeah. If more RPGs were like this, I'd probably be more into RPGs. That's something more to discuss for the main topic, though.
Perhaps.
Colin, what have you been playing? Speaking of moving along in the show,
What have I been playing? Oh yeah. Jazzy and I beat Stranger of Paradise.
Nice.
I think it was the night we recorded the previous episode.
That sounds right.
Wow, we're still talking about Final Fantasy.
We are.
That.
Look at that. Yeah, I freaking loved that game. The co-op is really, really fun. It's definitely not a game balanced for the co-op though, because like outside of boss fights, the game is just like stupid easy in co-op. But it's fun. Like it's not like, oh my god, this is so easy, we're bored here. It's like it was just fun. We were goofing off and stuff, kicking enemies into the water, kicking flying enemies into the water and watching them die and stuff like that. It's just kicking aquatic enemies into the water and watching them die.
How does that work?
I don't know. It's just, oh my god. But the story itself is actually as memeable as it is for the first 90% of the game.
Bullshit. Limp Bizkit's away.
The last chunk of story in like the final act of the game is actually pretty compelling considering the way it was for the rest of the game. And the way it loops back around and ties it into the original Final Fantasy was really, really interesting. And I thought for what the game was, it was pretty well executed too. Like, it cements the game as an actual prequel to the original game, as opposed to it being like this weird alternate universe retelling. And the way they do it is pretty clever. And I enjoyed the way the game ended a lot. There was this really cool just image at the very, very end of the game that I took a screenshot of, and I don't want to talk about it for spoiler reasons, but there's so much symbolism and stuff in that image, tying it into the original game. It's just so... I popped really hard at the end of that game. I was like, oh my god! They did that! They did the thing! But... yeah, I wasn't expecting the game to come around like that story-wise, and the final boss fight was so fun. It was also kind of funny because like up until like you can play basically the entire game co-op, except for there's a few points where it kicks you out of co-op because there's just like a couple story sequences and stuff that you had to go through that it wouldn't make sense for you to still be in a co-op lobby during them. They're mainly just like cutscenes and stuff, and then there's a couple spaces throughout where you have to play solo. But for the final boss, they also say, nope, you gotta play solo. Actually, the entire like last sequence of the game leading into the final boss fight also is just like, you can't play that co-op. It's like, well, that's weird to play this entire game with another person, and then right at the end, they say, nope, you're doing this by yourself.
Yeah.
Story-wise, it makes sense. I mean, I wasn't questioning why we couldn't play those co-op, because where we were at in the story, it made sense for it to be the way it was. Yeah. But it was just kind of funny. The final boss fight was difficult, but fun. It was about the level of difficulty I would say your typical Metroid boss fight is, really. Where you're gonna get your butt handed to you a few times until you really get that pattern recognition down. And then once you start recognizing the boss's patterns and stuff, it was just a matter of getting your timings and everything down correct, and hopefully being not screwed over by the boss randomly deciding it's going to use like this bullshit move over and over and over again and just crush you before you can react to it. Because there is still a level of RNG and stuff in there. But But yeah, I enjoyed it. For a Souls-like type boss fight, I was able to beat the final boss in probably about 20-25 minutes of tries. It took me probably 10-15 tries to get it. The nice thing about dying in this game against a boss is it sets you up right in front of the boss fight, so you can just go right at it again. There's no walk back like a lot of Souls-likes will have, like Dark Souls and stuff. So if you die,
I think that's about how much time I spent when I fought the Omega Pirate on my very first GameCube playthrough back in the day. Tying back into the Metroid boss thing.
Right. But yeah, it was also really funny. Jazzy had already beaten the game before, so I'm not knocking him for this per se, but it was really funny. Like, he went a couple tries, and then he's like, the game asked him if he wanted to switch the difficulty down to story difficulty, and at that point he was like, okay, yeah. So he went down to story difficulty and just completely creamed the final boss, and then I'm still fighting it on the regular difficulty and just getting back up and going in and getting back up and going in, and like finally I figured out the patterns for it and stuff and beat it on the regular difficulty. And I was proud of myself for that, for not succumbing to weakness. Does this make me want to play other Souls-like games that are more hardcore than this game?
Can't imagine it would.
Yesn't.
Provided there is co-op and easily accessible co-op, I am willing to approach the genre a little bit more.
You're willing to suffer through it as long as you can make Jazzy suffer through it too.
Yes. So, we're looking at picking up. I'm looking at picking up Elden Ring Night Rain, which is the kind of co-op, the co-op roguelite-ish.
The weirdly only 3-player co-op.
Yeah, which, funny enough, is like they just patched in 2-player mode for that. It's like, why wasn't that just there at launch?
Yeah.
It's like, I get they probably had to go through and rebalance everything for just 2 people, but that was probably something that they just could have done before announcing and releasing the game. It's like, you know that people are probably only going to want to play it with 2 people, because having only 2 people available to play and then having to pull in a rando is not a good experience.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. But that ties me into the other game I've been playing, because while we are waiting for me to buy Night Rain, we all decided that we're going to start playing another game together instead, and we picked Deep Rock Galactic.
Rock and
Stone!
Rock and Stone to the bone.
Yeah, we found that they gave it away on PS5 back when the PS5 version came out.
Give it away now.
So all of us just had copies of it. There's 4 of us that are playing it right now. Me, Jazzy, and a couple of our other friends in the Discord. But yeah, we played it on Thursday night, and just, I don't know where the time went. We started at 8 o'clock, and then all of a sudden it was 11 o'clock. And then we were like, yeah, this is probably going to be our last run for the night. And we were all like, yeah. And then that last run for the night that we were expecting to be like a 20-25-ish minute mission, like the rest were, ended up being close to an hour, and we didn't get done until nearly midnight.
It sounds like a certain PlayStation Online or Phantasy Star Online match we had.
Yeah. Oh my god! But
our online fun.
It was so funny though, in the most bullshit kind of way. Like, so somehow this was one of the missions where you're supposed to go through and collect a bunch of alien eggs, and whenever you grab one of the eggs, you get swarmed by enemies. And somehow, before we had even collected our first egg, we found ourselves in a position where all of us were at low or no ammo. And there were these flying bugs that would come around and pick you up and then drag you across somewhere in some random place in the map and then drop you. And the map was kind of this like cylindrical chasm that basically had a bunch of narrow pathways that led down it. So there was a lot of areas where you could just get dropped and fall and just die. So we kept finding ourselves in a position where one guy would go down, another guy would run over, try to pick him up, and then get grabbed by a bug on the way there and carried halfway across the level from him and have to start all over again if he survived the drop. And we didn't have enough resources to call down an ammo supply. So, like, we were just struggling we were probably in this situation for a good 10 to 15 minutes of that mission. Was just struggling, trying to get our bearings and footing again so that way we could complete the rest of the mission.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous. And if we were playing with randos for that
You would not have made it through that
we
mission.
would not have made it through that mission. Like, it was really funny. It was like one of the guys was like, "Man, it's a good thing we have voice chat, huh?" It's like, if we couldn't have communicated for that mission, we would not have succeeded in that mission at all. Like, it took so much teamwork to finally get things around. One of the guys was able to find a vein to mine for resources to call down a supply drop, and then finally we managed to get our bearings and stuff and get back on track. But man, that was so fun. And then they've also got a summer event going on right now where the lobby has a giant beach ball that you can pick up and throw around and kick it everywhere. And there's a bunch of buckets of water balloons scattered throughout, and you can pick up the water balloons and throw them at each other. Just like goof around in the lobby and stuff. So that way when certain people are taking forever trying to pick their next perk before going into the next mission. I'm not naming names here. But then you have something you can kind of goof around and do in the downtime and stuff. And there's other things in there too. There's like a very bad version of Flappy Bird that you can play that coincidentally we also had to play to unlock like jump boots in one mission. There was a locked chest and you had to hack it, and the hacking minigame was a very bad version of Flappy Bird. But then once you beat it, you get jump boots for the rest of the mission, which I forgot that I had one time while I was drilling through the floor, and then the floor stopped and I fell and died.
Oops.
And then one of the other guys jumped down and picked me back up. And I was like, oh, that's right. We have jump boots. How did I forget the jump boots? I wouldn't have died. But yeah, Deep Rock is a very, very fun game.
It is.
It's just stupid, dumb fun. And it gets really challenging at times, which I really like about it.
Its only real sin is that it doesn't have crossplay.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like, the team that made it is on the smaller side, so I can understand it. But, like, also, like, the PlayStation version's been out for 3 years now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if at one point they did try to incorporate it and just found that with their team size it wasn't feasible, or if they just haven't done anything with it yet. But
yeah,
it's kind of a shame that a game like that doesn't have crossplay yet.
Yeah,
that would be so good if it did.
Yeah, because I don't own a PS5, and knowing me, it will probably be several years to decades before I own a PS5.
Probably.
So it'd be cool if I, as a PC player of Deep Rock Galactic, could join you.
Yeah.
You guys seem like you could use a TF2 Pyro player.
I was doing my best to fulfill that role because I was playing Digger, but yeah. And one thing we're going to do also is, like, week by week, we're going to switch up the classes that we play and stuff to keep it a little bit fresher and stuff like that. So I don't know what I'm going to play this week, but it won't be Digger this week.
my favorite though.
He's really fun.
Yeah,
Especially he gets to dig holes fast.
he do dig hole fast.
He sets bugs on fire.
He a dwarf and he digging a hole, diggy hole.
And then the last game that I have been playing lately, I decided to start my replay that I've been wanting to do of Ghost of Tsushima, because the new game in the series, Ghost of Yotei, is coming out in October, and I wanted to replay Tsushima before that, and I wasn't sure how long this replay was going to take me, so I was like, I should get started on that right now. And
so sooner than later.
Yeah. So I just finished Act 1 today. I basically just decided today I was like didn't feel like getting out of bed, so like I'm just gonna play this until it's podcast time today. So that's what I did. And I made some pretty good progress today, but man, this is the perfect open world game. Like none of the side content gets in your way. None of it distracts you in any way. There's not a million icons on your screen at all times and stuff. The way that it guides you to your objective is so incredibly intelligent and innovative, because instead of just having like some kind of compass on the screen with a marker and stuff that you follow to your objective, when you mark a place on your map in the menu, all of the wind in the environment and particles and everything just blow in the direction you're supposed to go. So you have this environmental guide to carry you to whatever objective you're trying to go to, rather than just following a marker on a map. And it keeps you immersed in the world, because instead of like looking up or down at wherever your compass is on the screen or your mini map all the time, you're just following the wind wherever the wind goes. And so as a result, you just feel like you're a lot more in the world.
Anywhere the wind blows doesn't even matter to me.
Exactly. But just the way it does that, like I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh my God, I need my immersion. I need to be so immersed in my games or I just can't enjoy them. Like you see some people online, it's like this one little thing. It's like, that little thing broke my immersion and now I can't enjoy this game. It's like, no, but just the little things that this game does to kind of allow you to be immersed in it, I really enjoy about it. And then of course, I really like the combat in the game, how it's just simple. It's just 2 attack buttons and a dodge button and a block button that you can parry with. That's simple for most games, but I like that the attack buttons are on the face buttons and not the triggers, like a lot of modern games like to do. That just feels more comfortable and at home for me, because I grew up playing action games on the PS2 where your attack button was on square, your heavy attack or alternate attack, whatever, was on triangle and stuff. So that just always felt better to me. That's one thing I liked about Stranger of Paradise also, because it allowed you to remap your controls in that game. So I was able to, because it started by default, your attacks were R1 and R2, but I was able to put them on square and triangle, and that made that game a lot more enjoyable also. But Ghost of Tsushima, I like that. While there's one thing about it though that's a little like not annoying, but just there's different stances that you can take, and like every single enemy is strong or weak against like a specific stance. So like if you have an enemy with a shield, if you're not using the stance that is specifically strong against shields, you're not going to be able to fight it as effectively and stuff like that. So you're swapping stances constantly, and that can get a little bit tiring during combat. But the fighting is still really, really good. And I'm actually trying more of like a parry heavy playstyle than I normally would. Like, I typically tend to prefer dodging, just because parry windows for me are usually a little bit more tight than I would like.
Why didn't you dodge?
Why did you dodge? But I've actually gotten quite a good feel for parrying in this game, and So I've been kind of focusing on that style of play rather than dodging, and it's been super fun. Hitting the perfect parry in this game and then killing a guy in a single swing on the clapback is so satisfying.
Yeah.
And then as you progress the parrying skill tree, there's one thing that you unlock that if you nail a perfect parry, you have a 20% chance of terrifying nearby enemies, which causes them to just drop their weapons, drop to the ground, panic, and then sometimes they'll just lie there and kind of like push themselves back like they're trying to get away from you in that way, and then you can walk over and just drive your blade right through their chest and finish them off like that. Or they'll just flat out turn around and run away, and then you can shoot them in the back with an arrow and stuff. It's really fun. Yeah, I really, really enjoy Ghost of Tsushima, and Ghost of Yotei is probably the most excited I am for any game coming out this year.
Yeah.
They are very, very good games. Like, honestly, I think Ghost of Tsushima, it might be my favorite PS4 game. It's definitely a top 3 PS4 game for me. And playing it on PS5 with all of the enhancements that they gave to it when the PS5 came out is such a great experience. If you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, you should play Ghost of Tsushima. It's really good. And I haven't even talked about the standoffs yet. Oh, the standoffs. So like whenever you like approach a group of enemies, most of the time you're given the option to tap up on the D-pad, which triggers like an old like classic samurai action movie style standoff with them. And like the camera, like the aspect ratio collapses down to a 16:9 ratio, and it gets this like really dynamic camera angles, and then you can do this little standoff against the enemies, and it allows you basically instant kills for up to 3 enemies in any encounter. Nice. Right at the start of the encounter. And it's so good, and it's so satisfying when you nail that like perfect 3-kill chain. And then like every now and then that'll also terrify some of the remaining enemies, so they'll just like pack up and run away from it because they're like, oh man, he just slaughtered 3 guys like back to back to back. I'm out of here. Yeah. God, I love this game. It's one of the best open world game examples out there, I think. And especially when it comes to like kind of like vaguely Ubisoft style open world, which is kind of what this is. It does have like a lot of like vaguely Assassin's Creed to it, but not in the annoying Ubisoft Assassin's Creed way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Like it's like all of the things that Ubisoft does to like throw all of these icons in your way. Here's all these checklisty things, and there are checklisty things in Tsushima, but they're kept to a minimum, and they're only relevant when you're working on a specific objective, like clearing out a base camp or something like that. It's good. It's very good. I highly recommend Ghost of Tsushima. But let's move on now and talk about some more RPGs. RPGs.
Do I look like I know what an RPG is? I just want a picture of a hot dog.
Yeah, it's hey listeners time. Hey, listen! Each episode we ask our Discord members a prompt based on the topic of the episode for them to respond to. And if you are listening to this and you would like to join in on that fun, there is a link to our Discord down below, and we hope to see you there. This week, our topic is RPGs, so we asked our Discord members some of their favorite RPGs. We got a couple write-ins this week. The first one comes from Crystal Lily, who writes Fantasy Life, and also Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Steals Time, which is the new one. Look, it just got a sequel, and it's been a gem of a game that's not talked about that much. Yet it's actually really fun. You get different jobs or lives, different lives. I'm unsure how to pronounce plural lives. I think it's lives. And you use them to explore the world and craft all kinds of things. The story might not be for everyone, but they still put effort into it, and honestly, without saying any spoilers, the new game sorta got me to cry. It's fun to play along with other people, and now with the new game, there's more options on what to do. The friendly style of the game may not be for everyone, but I find it pleasant. I don't want to spoil it too much since there's a new game out. It might be a bit pricey, but trust me, it's worth it. I've been waiting since the 3DS era for a sequel, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. And our next writing comes from Jazzy, who you probably won't expect this, but here is Jazzy's write-in. My favorite RPG, and here you probably thought I'd be able to get through a single Hey Listener section without mentioning Kingdom Hearts. To the surprise of everyone, and by everyone I mean absolutely no one, my favorite RPG is Kingdom Hearts. I don't think anyone ever expected a collaboration between Disney and Final Fantasy to be a home run, yet here we are, and several games deep. Serious pacing issues aside, Kingdom Hearts has, in my opinion, one of the most engaging story arcs spanning multiple titles across the entire franchise. Unfortunately, a good chunk of the lore is locked away behind mobile gacha games and the various reports found throughout the games. I love that Kingdom Hearts isn't afraid to take chances and change things up. The handheld titles are known for introducing various mechanics, sort of like a playtest. Then the most popular mechanics make their way into future titles. This really allows the dev team to experiment with fun new ideas such as shot locks and flow motion, even if not all mechanics stick the landing, like Day's level grid system, or mission-based structure. Kingdom Hearts is at its best when sticking to its core mechanics, solid action RPG combat that takes you around the various Disney worlds while pursuing a larger Final Fantasy-sized threat. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is pretty good.
Yep. And it's all because Disney Japan and Square Enix shared an elevator once.
Yeah.
They were in the same building.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's two specific, a Disney rep and blanking on the name, but the guy, the Kingdom Hearts guy, were in an elevator.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, here's a pitch."
Yep.
Literal elevator pitch.
Yes. The most literal of literal elevator pitches, and it resulted in Kingdom Hearts.
They really should put more elevators in Kingdom Hearts to reference that.
Yeah, they should.
Well,
Kingdom
we're
Hearts
probably
4
getting
needs
Star
more
Wars.
elevators.
We're probably getting Star Wars, so we can have Anakin and Obi-Wan and Sora in an elevator like that scene in the movie.
Yes, please. That'd be amazing. Needs more elevators. But yeah, thanks for writing in, everybody. And a reminder, you can join our Discord and write in too for our next episode and all the episodes that come after the next episode. But yeah, main topic time. RPGs.
Yeah.
I like them.
Just a quick unofficial, hey listeners, my sister pointed out on one of our Discord servers that today is like the 2-year anniversary of Baldur's Gate 3 coming out.
Right.
Oh, you're right.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It is.
But you've gotten you've had shared with you like 5 years worth of Baldur's Gate content in those 2 years.
Sure feels like it.
Lots of Baldur's Gate 3. That is a great RPG.
It is. And it's very
Speaking of-
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
too,
I was going to say, it's like,
because
speaking of
it's-
games that take the Dungeons and Dragons approach, well, when the game is literally Dungeons and Dragons,
Yep.
but that is such a great translation of the Dungeons and Dragons gameplay systems into like a
Mhm.
video game.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I kind of feel like the JRPGs were initially just basically trying that, like Final Fantasy and
Yeah.
Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Like Final Fantasy 1 on the NES very much follows the sort of like Dungeons and Dragons spell slot system for its spell casting, which was cool because it felt very different from like the sort of traditional RPG spell casting system of like your character has this much MP to use, you can use it however you want. And
Right.
it was more of like you have this many spell slots that you can use, and it doesn't really matter what your MP is.
Right. Colin, when we did our Final Fantasy 1 episode back in 2022, Jesus,
That was a
did
little
you? Well,
while
what
ago.
version did you play?
I played the Game Boy Advance and the Pixel Remaster versions.
Okay, so I played exclusively the Pixel Remaster. I remember you talking about the other way, which I assume in the Game Boy they changed it to just MP. Is that correct? Or am I completely misremembering?
No, the Game Boy Advance version had like an MP based system.
Yeah. Didn't it have a... I briefly played the Game Boy Advance version. Didn't it have a toggle between the old version and the new version?
No,
No? That's just my imagination.
I think so. Wait a minute. Yeah,
Boy,
I'm pretty
man.
sure it was just MP based.
Could be. Yeah.
Why don't I grab my copy and find out?
We definitely could.
That is definitely a thing I can do. It's right here on this shelf next to me.
Wow. How convenient.
Okay. Time to verify. Pretty sure it was just MP, but you still only had like a limited number of spell slots, and this Game Boy is not dead. Okay.
Nice.
Congrats.
Which one of your many Game Boy Advances is that?
The $2, $50 one that has the Rayquaza shell swap.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the original style GBA that I painted doesn't have batteries in it right now.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Have I really not played this cartridge since I bought it?
Wow.
Oh, that's right, because I just dumped it immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Looks like MP based.
Ah.
But you still only have 3 slots per spell level.
Okay.
So you could still own. So that might have been what you were thinking about, because just the
Could
limited
be.
number of spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still only like per spell level get at the 3 spells, but it uses an MP system rather than like you can only cast like 3 level 1 spells before you have to restore it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's sort of a
Another-
hybrid of the two systems, really.
Yeah.
I do also remember that shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, the NES version that Lucas played didn't have magic restoring items, and the Pixel Remaster did.
That is such a pain.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yep. Yeah, your only way of recovering MP in the NES Final Fantasy was either at inns or if you used a tent or cabin on the overworld.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yep. That does sound pretty awful.
Yep.
But hey, it's the first one. They're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And they
Not
took what they learned and put it into the sequel, and the sequel was better. Wait, no,
Was
it wasn't.
Well,
I mean, it is I don't know about actual Final Fantasy 2, but Final Fantasy 4 that was released as Final Fantasy 2 in North America, there's MP recovery items, but they're also like some of the most expensive recovery items in the game.
Right. Well, I mean, that
Like-
is common, but I imagine you're saying like extremely expensive.
Ethers
like a
are
magic card was
10,000.
rare.
Ethers are 10,000 gil apiece.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. It's like you have MP recovery items, but they're so expensive you might as well not have them.
yeah.
Of course, also there's only like 4 characters worth wasting MP recovery items on, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah, Final Fantasy IV also gives you a lot more places to use tents also.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. Each major dungeon has a like dedicated like save space in it. So
Okay.
you can't like you find that space, you can use a tent or a cabin and you can stand on that space and it will allow you to save like you were on the overworld, which is handy.
Okay. So they improved it. Just not quite to normal standards nowadays.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh it's weird to say I'm not typically a fan of RPGs when like all I've been playing
That
the
whole
last
the whole
couple
discussion we had
months.
before we got to the topic.
Yep. Yeah, it's like pretty much all I've been playing lately is RPGs in the form of Final Fantasy IV.
Mhm. Or two.
Yeah, 2 or 4 depending on which version I'm playing. um yeah. RPGs are like a genre that I say I don't like, but deep down I actually really appreciate. I just
Mhm.
don't play them often, which is probably
Well,
more accurate.
so obviously Phantasy Star was the RPG you played a lot of.
Yep.
And Earthbound, because you were already into Earthbound when Mother's 3 came out. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah.
were those the main
Like
two then? Or did you play other games?
yeah, those were
And
the main 2 for me back in the day.
okay. Got
Yeah, I played through Earthbound while I was waiting for the Mother 3 translation to finish up.
I gotcha. Okay, so you're
And
following
then
more of like the translation news story. And then you're like, hey, I might as well play as Earthbound.
yeah,
Okay.
and I did attempt to play Mother 1 / Earthbound 0 / Earthbound Beginnings, but good
Hey, I've tried that once
lord.
too. Uh-huh.
uh
You played it, so we don't have to.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I
uh
played it. I was still in whatever the equivalent of ONET was.
yeah,
Like honestly, I don't think I made it to the city. I think I just walked around in the grass and was like, "This is awful."
I think I made it to the first trip to Magic Hand.
Okay, wow. That's an actual play through of the game.
Yep. Yeah, I had met Pippi and had her join my party, and then I think I had made it to the first trip to Magic Hand and gave up.
How far into the
Understandable.
game is the first trip to Magic Ant?
Barely anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. There are several trips that you make to Magic Ant in Earthbound 0, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very difficult game. It's
Hmm.
as TV tropes would probably put it, it's Nintendo hard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, yeah, it is a incredibly difficult NES game, and that is what that is. um, I feel like maybe after having beaten Final Fantasy 1 on the NES, that like it might be more within my reach than I think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I should try Earthbound 0 / Earthbound Beginnings / Mother 1 again.
Yeah.
Should you though?
That feels like a challenge.
Oh, I assure you, it is not.
It's not. Are you sure? It seems like you made it one.
Oh God.
You've heard it
Maybe I
here first, folks. Watch retro games in the TOGP Discord, and you get to follow Lucas playing through Mother 1 / Earthbound 0.
No, please don't do that.
/ Earthbound Beginnings if you're playing on Wii U Virtual Console.
Don't encourage this.
I'll do what I want.
You encouraged it first.
I did no such thing. I am
You-
against this. Let
you
the
said
record
don't-
show.
You said
Let the
don't
record
do
show.
that.
I am against this.
You said don't do that, knowing full well that I would do that.
I said don't do that because I am against this.
I mean, it can't be that bad, right?
Oh, it can. It can. It probably
Famous
is.
last words of Lucas.
Just picturing a gravestone that says, tried playing Mother 1.
I've heard it's not actually too bad until you get to Mount Itoy, and then Mount Itoy is terrible.
Yeah, okay, one of those. The Hollow Bastion of Mother 1.
Yeah. The final area is the hardest area.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jokes End in Superstar Saga.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if that's straight up the final stage, but it is like the late game stage that's really annoying. I stopped at Joke's End. So also equivalent of Hollow Bastion, just Colin's version.
I feel slightly compelled to beat Earthbound Zero solely because it is the only Earthbound game I have, or Mother series game that I haven't beaten yet.
Right, yeah.
Because I have beaten Earthbound, I've beaten Mother 3, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Like, I share a name with the main protagonist of Mother 3, of course I've beaten it.
Right.
I feel like I gotta do it.
You don't.
I do.
It's happening. Can't stop it anymore.
Yep.
Great.
It's like what happens if I say whose turn is it in Magic.
It's true.
Whose turn is it? It's your turn, Neal, to get attacked for asking whose turn it is.
Yep. It be like that. Or
How
like
do
the
I
one
attack
time
myself, though, if it's my turn?
Yeah. Or like that one game of Usurpers that we did where Neal was the king and I was the bodyguard, and
Oh no, I forgot about this.
I remember that.
And I was playing my Krenko deck, which is mono red, and I was amassing a big pile of goblins.
And
I wasn't doing
about reading the room.
I wasn't doing anything to anyone. I was just building a big pile of goblins until like I could start sniping the actual assassins and renegade.
And then what do I play?
Neal plays Washout and names Red.
Oh man.
It's like, Your Highness, I advise you, as your loyal bodyguard. I promise I am your bodyguard, by the way. You should not play Washout naming Red.
I think that was one of my very earliest Usurpers games, admittedly. But also, yeah, I'm terrible about reading the room in that kind of situation.
Yeah. And, well, it ended up with specifically me killing the king as the bodyguard.
Yeah. Oh, good times.
Yep.
All right, then what's everybody's first RPG here?
I think Pokemon Red,
yeah, it was
or Pokemon Blue,
Pokemon.
technically.
Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon counts. You're right. Do we want to talk about Pokemon?
I love
it.
Pokemon.
Is an RPG.
Yeah.
It's very different different from a traditional RPG in that your party is only out one at a time.
Yes. And also it's not really part of the story either.
Yeah.
And also you can customize your party to an absurd degree.
Yeah.
There is a lot of customization.
Got an arsenal of 151 Pokemon to choose from in Red and Blue.
Mm-hmm. It's also a technological like miracle that they were able to do that on a Game Boy.
Yeah.
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 But yeah,
Especially with how as poorly optimized as Pokemon Red and Blue is.
yeah,
And this is also like after, so in Japan we got Pokemon Red and Green, and
right.
then they released a updated version called Pokemon Blue, and that served as the basis for North American Pokemon Red and Blue, and it was still incredibly broken.
Uh-huh. Game Freak was just kind of bad at games. Because in the follow-up, Gold and Silver, they programmed to hold the game, and I think it's Miyamoto that came in.
It's Satoru Iwata.
Awada, okay, yeah. He comes in and is like, I got to simplify this whole code way better than what you've done. And so then they included all of Red and Blue in the game additionally.
Yep.
Because of the space Awada was able to make.
Yep. They were just able to include all of Kanto as a sort of post-game area that you could play in.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you beat Sonic 2 and you could just play through all of Sonic 1 afterwards.
Right? As opposed to playing Sonic 2 on like some prototype ROM to play
Green Hill Zone. Fall to the ground a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
So, yeah. Pokemon is a very interesting take on the sort of RPG space.
Yeah, I think like obviously this applies to you guys. It's kind of like baby's first or RPG. Like I don't mean to downplay that, but like it's people's first introduction to RPGs for lots of kids.
Yeah, it was kind of that for
Yeah.
a lot of us.
Yeah. Like it gave you a party, it gave you a select amount of moves that each party member could do.
Mm-hmm.
Random encounters.
Mm-hmm. It also like simplified the whole like in Pokemon it's very clear to see where you might get into an encounter.
Yep.
Which considering encounters are how you grow your party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just have trainers standing about. It's like, oh, trainer battle coming up. Mandatory fight.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, and it warns you when bosses are coming pretty well, other than I guess the rival fights. I don't know how those were in the original games. They just kind of show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
they
kind of
just
had to
kind of
know.
show up.
So, but that's kind of just like Gary being a complete and total dickbag.
That's what you name him.
He just kind of shows up.
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
What's his name again? Oh yes, that's right, dickbag.
Yep.
I'm not gonna question that whatsoever.
Yep.
I'm sure that's right. What do I know? I spend all of my life here wasting away in this laboratory looking at small animals.
Yep.
I can't remember my own grandson's name, so I'll take your word for it.
Yep. He somehow was able to reproduce. Yep. Yeah. Beyond Pokemon, though, I think the next sort of RPG I was exposed to really would have been technically the Legend of Zelda series as a action RPG, but I have a feeling that kind of breaks the spirit of the actual RPGs we're intending to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, it does get kind of blurry, especially with like Kingdom Hearts. That's definitely an RPG, but like
It's
if you go
very
too for the
action-focused.
action level, is it an action adventure game or an RPG?
Yep.
It's definitely an RPG.
I would agree. So
You think Zelda?
All of the systems behind the combat are very, very RPG.
yeah.
We talking
The
Zelda?
character customization and all of that.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like Legend of Zelda is very much more on like the action adventure end of the ARPG spectrum.
Okay, I thought you guys were talking about Legend of Zelda, and I'm like,
No.
I don't know.
No, I was commented on Kingdom,
Kingdom Hearts is definitely an RPG. Yes.
Yeah.
But I was saying
Oh,
it's
I misunderstood where
closer
you were going with
to.
that. That's my
yeah,
bad.
No worries. I was saying it's leaning closer to like the action adventure than like
Yeah.
obviously Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did Final Fantasy first do action RPG stuff kind of like Kingdom Hearts? 'Cause I'm actually not sure.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah. that
Really, it
sounds
took that
right.
long? Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I did not know that. That's kind of wild.
Yep. Yeah. Final Fantasy 15 was the first like fully like real time action RPG in the series.
And I assume they did base a lot of it on just Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, there was a lot of Kingdom Hearts DNA in it, but it was developed by the Kingdom Hearts team, so
That makes sense.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Well-
yeah.
actually let me back that up. It was because they developed a completely new game engine for it.
Okay.
And I think there was it was headed by Nomura.
Mhm.
I mean, he did all the character designs and stuff and did a lot of the writing, if not all the
Mhm.
writing.
Mhm.
I forget. But I think there was a different team that was specifically set aside to work with this brand new game engine that made the bulk of the game. And that's why it went through so many issues in its development. Because issues with game engine, and then they were switching to a new console generation, and just a lot of things
Mhm.
happened to Final Fantasy 15.
Right. So wait, then Final Fantasy 14? Is that more like action RPG or
14 is an MMO.
Okay, good point. Yeah.
And it's really good, and everyone should play it because it's absolutely free. There's
Oh,
a
here we
free
go.
trial that goes all the way up to level 70 and the end of the Stormblood expansion for free. You don't have to pay anything. You can play it with no restrictions. Free. You should do that. Anyway, I rest my case. That was our Final Fantasy 14 discussion in our RPG episode.
Yeah. I mean, it was inevitable, really. We're going to be talking about Final Fantasy. It would come up.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess I'll talk about my RPG, which has definitely come up on the show. My first RPG was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on the Game Boy Color. And it very much was Final Fantasy, but
Yeah,
with the plot of a
is-
book.
That is very much one of the RPGs I've ever played.
Right, yeah, you've played it. When did you play it, then? How old were you, I guess is what I'm asking.
I don't know. How old was that game when it came out?
In tandem with Chamber of Secrets, probably 2002.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. I probably wouldn't have played it that early because I didn't have a Game Boy until 2003. Although it was one of the first things I bought. But yeah, I bring it up because it's when you leveled up, you restored both your HP and your MP, which was an interesting way to do it. And from what I've seen, I've never seen any other game do it that way. But it was very nice to just like keep going. If you can get to a level up, if you're low on HP, if you get enough EXP, you can just keep going after you level up. So you can get grinding sessions in much better. So you don't have to go back to, in this case, the hospital to heal yourself.
The
Yeah.
hospital.
But,
Actually,
yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's actually a lot of games that do that.
Is there? Okay, well,
I can't name any off the top of my head, but I've definitely played numerous games that definitely do that.
That
And
do
yeah,
that.
it is a really useful thing to have because if you can pop a level up, it can save you in some battles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like especially like in like an action RPG that has something like that where your HP MP restore when you level up. Like,
Right.
that's a
Yeah.
lifesaver sometimes in combat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in action RPGs where it like happens mid battle.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
really
actually,
does
I
save you.
I think that works in Kingdom Hearts.
Is it? Might
I
be.
think so. I've definitely been saved in some kind of action RPG by level ups before. I'm pretty sure Kingdom Hearts might be one of them.
Right. Yeah. Definitely a nice thing. You don't have to worry about as many items.
Yeah, I do
Make it
appreciate
sort of
that.
feel a little less like an RPG because that's like one of the things. It's potions.
Potions.
Delicious.
um,
Yeah. Chamber of Secrets is a painful game that I have never beaten.
really?
Yeah. I've never made it past Aragog.
Right. We've talked about this. Yeah. Aragog is rough.
Yeah. He keeps petrifying everyone.
Uh-huh. It's real rough. And
Yeah.
like other than the forest, there's no way, like at night there's not any monsters spawning in the castle, which
Yep.
means your easier enemies aren't there to help you grind. All you got are the spiders, which are very high level. So
Yep.
if you get to that area section of the game, if you haven't leveled up enough before that, you're in a whole bunch of trouble.
Yeah.
Because the spiders can do crazy damage too. Not even not as bad as Aragog, but like definitely still really powerful.
Yep. And you don't have
What's up?
Hermione, and she knows all the spells.
Yeah. Hermione is your mage basically, while Ron is your tank. But everybody can do spells because it's Harry Potter, and that's kind of how it works.
Yep.
Although that has the most annoying thing I've ever seen in an RPG, which is purely because it makes sense for the story. Ron snaps his wand at the beginning of that game, book.
Yep.
So just randomly, it'll be like, Ron's wand's backfired, and it hits you really hard. I have
that's
had
annoying.
Yeah.
Ron die to himself, which is dark.
Ron,
Flavorful, yes.
Yeah. Flavorful, it's very good, but like mechanically, it's like this is stupid.
Yep.
Why would you put this in? Which is definitely a thing of like telling a story based on something that's not an RPG, like a licensed game RPG, which I haven't played many, but like they work a story around in like a Final Fantasy or a Kingdom Hearts or even a Zelda. Like you will have enough characters to get through certain parts that are going to be harder. They can tailor the story so that you're not down to one guy who's your weakest guy or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas following something that happened in a movie, you're kind of limiting yourself on storytelling through the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jazzy brought up Kingdom Hearts having a story. I think he definitely has a point of it being one of the only stories that like is like through the whole franchise. Like a lot of other games are like maybe some elements are similar. Final Fantasy is like that, but like like some elements are shared, but it's not an ongoing story like Kingdom Hearts that you can get really, really entrenched in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any RPG series I've played where like the storyline is contiguous through each game. It's like kind of going back to Earthbound, Mother, like Earthbound Zero's story is vaguely referenced in Earthbound, and then Mother 3 is almost entirely unrelated, save for Porky Minch being there.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Don't want to spoil. We don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
Yakuza.
Spoilers for
Yakuza, that's a good example. Yeah.
Especially now that it's
Yakuza's
gone like full turn-based RPG where
That's a good point.
Yeah. But technically even the action combat parts of the series, I mean technically those are still RPGs as well. There's like all of the progression systems are RPG systems in the Yakuza games.
Right.
Well, yeah, having an ongoing story is kind of a barrier to entry. Like, going into Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, you're like, what is going on? You have to watch a YouTube video. And watching a YouTube video about
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts lore is worse than just playing the games.
Yeah.
Well, playing some of the games.
Right. True.
Yeah.
I more mean consuming the story.
Actually, I
I
suppose
feel
that,
like the story for Dream Drop probably would have been better consumed in a YouTube video than actually having to suffer through that game.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, watching clips of the cutscenes would be better for quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But like the mainline games, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, those you want to play them.
Yeah.
Right. I'm more saying that like you want to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
You
and
have
get,
a lot of
about,
baggage you got to get through first.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm talking about
Believe
like
me, I
summary.
know, I'm trying to.
The summary videos, like there's not enough there in a summary unless you make, a 50-minute video, at which point you might just play the games or watch cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, now that I think about it, the dot hack quadrilogy for the PlayStation is all one contiguous storyline, and it actually runs parallel to the dot hack sign anime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that one of those things like the anime was made
Xenosaga.
first? Xenosaga is another example.
The anime was made at the same time as, I think, dot hack infection and mutation.
Okay. So they were like made in tandem so they could
Yes.
not have to like have that issue with Harry Potter did.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
But
pretty good.
the dot hack sign storyline is an entirely self-contained storyline that is plot adjacent and interacts with the storyline from the dot hack games.
Wild.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, then also like contiguous storylines. There's the Trails series, which is probably one of the most like up and coming popular franchises with a contiguous storyline. That series, it's kind of been in the backdrop for a long time. Then it started really picking up popularity, probably like 5 or 6 years ago, and now it's one of the most popular RPG series for like the core like RPG enthusiast audience and stuff. Like,
Well, continuing. Go ahead.
Like you ask any like modern fan of RPGs what some of their favorite series are, and you'll probably hear the Trails series come up somewhere.
Right.
And this series is started in 2004 with Trails in the Sky. And now, since then, they have released like well over 10 games in the series across multiple story arcs that are all contiguous with one another. Like, technically, each story arc can be played in its own self-contained way, but like it's all like one contiguous story from Trails in the Sky all the way up to the most recent game that's out. There's a lot of them, and they're big games too, and they're good games. I'm really looking forward to the remake of Trails in the Sky that's coming out this year because I want to play it. I have it pre-ordered, and I want to play it. I played halfway through the original, and then I heard they were going to remake it, so I was like, I'm just going to wait for the remake now. And I want to play it because it's a really good game. The characters are incredible. The story is not like existential, which for an RPG, I mean, that's a little refreshing.
Yeah.
Just like having it not be this like crazy, like world-ending existential threat that you're kind of going up against and stuff. It's kind of a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Because when you get down to it, like
existential topics for
yeah
some JRPGs.
Yeah, because I mean, when you get down to it, like a lot of RPGs start out with this. I mean, it's a meme. I mean, like game starts out, you're helping your neighbor find their cat who climbed up a tree, and then at the end of the game, you're killing God.
Yep.
I mean, it became a meme for a reason.
Yep.
So every now and then when you get a game that doesn't really, or a series even, that doesn't really fall into that trope, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Not that the trope is bad,
Yeah.
because I do enjoy killing God.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Yep.
Going back to the continuing story kind of thing, those are definitely very, very good once you're in the story and are following it.
Yes.
But like getting into it is kind of the barrier to entry. Like that is sort of the whole world of comic books. Of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you
Like
want
they-
to pick up issue 150 and have no idea what happened in the previous 149s?
Yep. Or do you read the previous 150 going all the way back to 1950 whatever,
Right. Yeah.
or 1940 whatever in some cases?
Right. Yeah. But like it this applies to the games too of like a good comic book should be able to be like you pick up an issue and you're like, oh, I don't know all the backstory, but I can see what's going on in this issue and it's pretty good, so I can follow this. And then that makes you go, okay, I'll keep buying issues and maybe look back at find a omnibus of some of the older comics and catch up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if like your first Kingdom Hearts game is Kingdom Hearts 2, you have no idea what's going on with Roxas or anything, which I guess applies if you didn't play Chain of Memories just in general, but like then you go back and play the previous ones and you have more appreciation for Kingdom Hearts 2 now that you know a little bit better what's going on.
Yeah. Gonna be honest though, no matter how many times Jazzy has explained Kingdom Hearts' lore, I still don't understand it.
There's a lot.
There is a lot.
Like, I am definitely an appreciator of lore,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, well, that's
yeah,
like I was saying earlier.
it's sort of an essential
Kingdom
thing
Heart-
if you're a fighting game fan to appreciate lore, because the games, especially early on in like the arcade days, did not give you anything to go off of lore wise.
Right. But that sort of gets back to Kingdom Hearts specifically. Like, reading about it is more confusing than just consuming the games.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because, yeah, having a full map of, okay, Aqua was here, and now she's here, is kind of confusing. But, like, when you're playing the games in order, like, each game just kind of builds upon the previous one in some way or another. Whether it's, like, Chain of Memories right after Kingdom Hearts, or Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2 just kind of building off the previous 1 and 2 games. But then you get to Days, and it's like, okay, this is building off Chain of Memories. This is what was going on in its separate place while Chain of Memories was going on, which is really confusing. Just explain to you of like, okay, yeah, there's 2 games going on, and Roxas is here, but Roxas actually isn't here. And then there's this girl who actually doesn't exist, and that sounds way more confusing than just watching somebody play the game or playing the game yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a task to construct a sequel storyline to an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we really sort of have only fleshed out like a couple of games with contiguous storylines, like the Dot Hack games, Xenosaga, and I guess technically Harry Potter.
there is that other thing too of like if you're making a sequel game, especially with the very first one, like it has the MCU issue of like you make a sequel expecting something else to be made and it doesn't necessarily get made. I guess that's not MCU. But like expecting a sequel to make the ending of the story more satisfying with some kind of cliffhanger or unfinished thing, you have to hope that your game sells well. Otherwise, people really don't want to watch it or play it.
Yep, now that I think about it, there are a couple of Final Fantasies that do have direct sequels to them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Final Fantasy IV has a sequel.
Does it really?
It does. It's not very good.
Oh, okay.
Thanks
for saving me the time.
Yes, agreed.
Final Fantasy X has a sequel.
Yeah.
I do know about that one. And 12-2 exists as well?
13.
No, 13. 13 actually has 2 sequels.
Yeah. Okay.
13-2, I don't know the name of it, and 13-3, Lightning Returns.
There is no subtitle for 13-2.
Ah, okay. So, wait a sec. 13-2, I don't know the name of it, is still accurate then.
True.
The important part is that Lightning returned.
Somehow. Somehow Lightning returned.
Yes. That's okay though, right? People liked Lightning, right? Final 13. Final Fantasy 13 was a game that people liked, right?
I liked it.
Yep. See, it was a good game. Colin liked it.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
That I also liked.
It's the opposite of me, where if I like the game's probably garbage. No, not really. That's just our music tape. Yeah. Yeah. See, I always think that like the big issue for me of like getting into RPGs is, not being action oriented first, because I feel like gaming boomer saying this, but like I prefer platformers because I like the immediate action that a platforming game provides. But then every time I've sat down to play through an RPG, like done several for the podcast now, like Final Fantasy 1, Earthbound, which is one of my favorites. But, someone that wouldn't normally play RPGs having a favorite RPG. It's just a clear sign that I deep down like them.
Right.
And Chrono Trigger. We also played through that for the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
And yeah, Chrono Trigger is fantastic.
It's only one of the best games of all time.
It definitely deserves that moniker too.
Yep, agreed.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that honestly, part of why I like especially JRPGs is the whole like you don't necessarily have to have, coordination and skill to beat it. You just got to make sure you're watching the numbers and choosing the right thing. I mean, there's skill there, but like it's not about pressing a button at the right moment.
Yeah. It's like I joke about RPGs being menu navigation simulators, but like, sometimes that's kind of a refreshing change of gameplay than like you need to react to this thing immediately or else you are going to die.
You will die.
Yeah. It's that's kind of why it's telling. It's telling because like there's a reason I like Sonic is because like missing a jump or something and landing on spikes doesn't kill you or make you lose what is essentially half of your health, like in Mario. There's suddenly have a golden spray of second chances to, keep going pretty easily.
Yep.
Speaking of Sonic, you guys know there's a Sonic RPG developed by BioWare
I don't want to talk
that is
about
allegedly
this.
very bad.
It sure is. Allegedly. I haven't played it.
Yeah, it is allegedly one of the games of all time.
But it exists.
Their score, the score is a big issue, but that's sort of not their fault. They had I don't remember the exact story, but they had the score mostly complete, and they lost it in some kind of like either flood or fire. I forget which one.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's why it's terrible. If you look up Sonic,
the flood from Halo attacked.
yeah, if you look up Green Hill Zone Sonic Chronicles, it's not great. It is a MIDI. It is literally a MIDI, and this is the DS, which could put out some decent sounding sounds.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
But yeah, you think the BioWare would have been able to handle this, but no. Everything I've heard is that like the combat is frustrating, the backtrack is plentiful.
Yeah.
And
you would think, as a Metroidvania fan, I would like backtracking in an RPG, but no. Backtracking in an RPG is actually worse than just playing an RPG.
I don't know what that is, because like backtracking in Legend of Zelda Link to the Past was great too, but as soon as it shifts into more of a JRPG, backtracking gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Also, Sonic Chronicles being very unprofessional about where they got their story from also caused the Archie comic to get rebooted and then eventually canceled.
Yeah, it's true. We almost lost Knuckles in the divorce because of this.
Yes. No, we wouldn't have lost Knuckles, but we definitely lost Knuckles' dad, who is Knuckles with a beard.
Oh no.
Yeah, that whole thing sucked. Most of Ken Pender's characters, that's what we're talking about, were the echidnas, because he was the one who fleshed out that, and they borrowed a lot from in the comics it's called the Dark Legion. In the story, it's called the Dark Brotherhood, which is literally the subtitle of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it finally like fully affected Archie and they just had to drop all these characters, they were in the middle of an arc about the echidnas. Which completely screwed up the storyline. They had already promised it was going to be a 4-parter. They had to rewrite everything of that arc on very short notice.
Oof.
Yeah. But yeah, and pretty much immediately after that arc, the comic reset, which did have the very nice Mega Man and Sonic crossover, the first one.
Yeah, that's right. At the Super Genesis wave at the end of Worlds Collide.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe Mega Man of all people reset the universe.
Well, technically it was Eggman, but
yeah. But it was during the Mega Man crossover.
Yes.
It's technically canon. Remember that time I found Reset the Game Man?
Right.
Fun times fiddling with the Game Genie in Mega Man 2. Great. Shoutouts to Flappy Man. And Reset the Game Man.
They don't Reset the Game Man.
They don't exist, but they're Robot Master weapons. We found them, and they did things. Alright, can't forget this Metal Blade. We found it. but early.
Game Genie.
Yeah. Game Genie does not cooperate with like NES, Super Nintendo era RPGs very well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think there's really anything. I guess there's a lot going on under the hood of an RPG, and
yeah, there's also surprisingly a lot going on under the hood of a Game Genie.
Yeah.
You know, just like reprogram the game on the fly, intercepting game instructions. Kind of difficult to make work well with RPGs, whether, you know, your more traditional turn-based JRPGs like Final Fantasy, or as I briefly have attempted to experiment with my own Game Genie and my own copy of Legend of Zelda, more action RPG or type games like Legend of Zelda. Yeah, Game Genie codes in that game do not work very well. There's also the issue of, like, you need to continue using the Game Genie code throughout every playthrough, or every continuous playthrough of the game that you are. So, yeah. So yeah, like it's not like saving the game in game will save your Game Genie code. You will have to re-enter this Game Genie code every time you pick up the game in order to continue having effect code.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
That's the early days of cheat devices for you.
Well, yeah, Legend of Zelda and the RPGs were really the reason that, like, save batteries starting coming in cartridges was like, this is easier than passwords. Is to throw a physical battery in than, you know, like, I don't know how you'd have custom Final Fantasy saves in a password. You have to enter like 15 characters. I don't know. Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a game like Final Fantasy would function on a password system.
Yeah, that would be kind of horrible.
Yeah.
Just write down all your stats.
Yeah.
And enter them back in. And your location password.
Yep. I know, you know, on more of like the Nintendo side of things, Legend of Zelda was originally a Famicom Disk System game, so it had read-write access to your FDS game, which was essentially glorified floppy disk. Same thing with Metroid, actually. Speaking of password system games, Famicom Metroid was a FDS game, so it could just save your progress back to the disc that the game came on. Yeah. Like, I could see if Final Fantasy was released as a Famicom Disk System game, if, like, being able to save to the disc would work, but, you know, if we didn't have that, it wouldn't work. And yeah, I suppose also further on into that, like, Final Fantasy did receive a release for MSX2, which was primarily a floppy disk-based computer system, so that wouldn't have needed a save battery as well. But yeah, it did more or less like kind of popularize battery back memory on the NES that became incredibly prevalent on the Super Nintendo. There really aren't a whole Super Nintendo games that rely on passwords to continue.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like RPG games probably were a big push for that.
Yeah. Especially considering once you got to the Super Nintendo how big they got.
Yeah. Like, it's one thing trying to imagine how to, like, go about Final Fantasy 1, a password system and no battery backed save memory, Could you imagine doing Final Fantasy, air quotes, 2, Final Fantasy 4, but for the Super Nintendo? Do you imagine trying to do that with passwords?
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah. Honestly, about the only games I can think of on the Super Nintendo that really rely on passwords to get through. The Mega Man games on the platform. Mega Man 7 used passwords. Mega Man X1, 2, and 3 all use passwords. And that's about it for games that I can think of that utilize passwords for continues. Otherwise, everything else was like battery backed save memory, or you just started the game from the beginning. There wasn't a whole lot of in between.
Start all over, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's like you either got really good at the first couple levels of Biometal, or you didn't get anywhere in Biometal. That's okay though, because Biometal has a licensed soundtrack from the electronic dance music group 2 Unlimited, and everyone loves those songs.
Everybody loved that.
It's true. Like, are you ready for this? And Twilight Zone, like, sports arena staples. You may not know those songs by those names, but you definitely know those songs if you have ever attended a sporting event ever.
Yeah.
And that's the entire soundtrack to that game too, which is kind of funny. Yeah, like arcade shoot 'em up, better make it 2 Unlimited jock jams for the soundtrack.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yep. Like, what if we made an RPG with like King Crimson soundtrack? That'd be pretty dope, actually.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I've been over this with Colin several times, but I still think that Crimson 1 and 2 by Edge of Sanity, like death metal band from out of Sweden, like main songwriter Dan Swano's good buddies with Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth. Like Crimson 1 and 2 adapted to an RPG would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, just go look up the lyric sheet for Crimson, and it is just straight up a JRPG. It covers all the bases. It's got, forces usurping the king. It's got princess, daughter of the king that was usurped, learning magical powers, eventually restoring her rightful place as queen. And then she turns into the bad guy. Because the person that taught her these powers did so in evil. So she has been influenced by evil. And, well, now everyone is trying to stop the evil of the evil queen. It's JRPG AF, really.
Yeah.
And then Crimson 2 from 2003 sort of picks up where the first album left off, where, someone lurking in the shadows unseal the evil queen. And then it's another 40 minutes of progressive death metal about how we need to stop this evil queen again. It's great. Yeah, it's funny how that is sometimes. Like, you just hear a storyline or, like, you read a storyline, it's like, this would make a fantastic RPG. And there's not really any other genre of game that I have had that sort of experience with.
Well,
and the multiple Sonic medias don't count, obviously. It's like Sonic is a platforming game first and foremost, and then they've adapted it to animes, but like sometimes you just read something and it's like, this would be a fantastic RPG.
Right, yeah.
well, it lends a lot to just RPGs, like their one of their core pillars is a focus on storytelling
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and strong storytelling. So whenever you see like a really strong work of fiction out there and stuff, it's like, yeah, this would make a great game, but what kind of game? Probably an RPG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't think of any books that I've read. It's like, wow, this would make a great Mega Man.
Yeah, right. But like Game of Thrones, RPG.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's the Action Adventure too. What's the licensed version of Game of Thrones? I don't know why my brain went there. I've never seen that show.
Yeah, me neither.
Game of Thrones license plate frame. No.
Apparently, George R. Martin still uses a DOS version of Star for his word processor for writing. So
That's funny.
yeah.
Game of Thrones is a DOS game. You know, you've been reading a DOS game this whole time.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh right, there was a Telltale Games version. That's
Yeah.
not an RPG, but that is a type of game for stories. That's probably
Sure.
the other main option is a
Like
Telltale
a
game.
point and click adventure type game.
Yeah. Good
They
old
are
point and clicks.
role playing games, but different. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why there's an RTS Game of Thrones coming out in 2026, which still isn't RPG.
Yeah. Yeah. RTSs do exist. I don't know if I've ever actually properly sat down and played one. Usually if I'm in the mood for games, not while I'm playing video games. But yeah. Suppose the RTSs are a sort of sub-genre RPGs. Probably more accurately turn-based strategy, time strategy.
Yeah, more like a turn-based strategy.
Yeah. Really stuff like your Fire Emblems and your Advance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Those
Like
definitely seem to be more in line with the Dungeons and Dragons sort of inspiration for RPG games.
Yes and no. They are still more linear.
Yeah.
Like they have a pretty straightforward story structure,
Right.
but that comes from a lot more of like the Japanese side of RPG development tends to put more focus on like this is the story we're telling
Yeah.
and this is how you're going to experience, where the Western approach is more open-ended, where you get like your Skyrims and your Witchers and stuff, where
Yeah.
right.
there is a core story to be told, but there's also a bunch of smaller little stories that kind of let you, as you play, kind of build your own kind of narrative throughout the experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the entire CRPG genre very much like here's your character. You are playing the role of this character. No experience. Yeah, which leads into open world RPGs. My thoughts are on those things. Of course, I do actually enjoy Skyrim. Yeah, I don't, and
Really good.
yeah. Surprise, I don't actually dislike open world RPGs. I just dislike open world being used as a description for every game ever.
But when they are open world, it's accurate to describe them as such.
Yeah. Yeah, and same thing with roguelike. Like roguelike, and it doesn't actually have any mechanics in common with like the big four like games that hack or rogue. But then roguelite, it's like one or two mechanics in common, probably more accurately described as a procedurally generated death. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
I just want to bring up. I don't think we've covered this. RPG elements in games that aren't RPGs. So that's definitely a thing.
Yes.
Every AAA game for the last 8 years.
Yeah,
Sounds
get
about.
some RPG elements in there.
Yeah.
Throw a little open world.
Yep.
You have AAA game. Congratulations.
Yeah. Can't forget the roguelike mechanics. Roguelike open world RPG mechanics. Have fun. Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind the insertion of RPG games. In fact, in some ways, that's just kind of a natural way of including being able to heal with recovery items.
Yeah, for me, it's more so like it just kind of makes sense for a game if you're looking to have any form of customization in your character build in the game. It just makes sense to have some form of RPG progression system integrated.
Yeah.
The thing that annoys me so much with a lot of the way that modern games tend to implement this, though, is it comes in the form of a massive skill tree, and most of the options on that massive skill tree do little to nothing to actually like make any difference in the character build at all. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, now you do 0.02% extra damage if you use this kind of weapon. It's like, at that point,
Congratulations, you have a percentile more ability to pick lock.
it's like that, and the same thing where they'll put like stats on armors and stuff like that, and they go with, and this kind of really became an issue in like big like loot based games like your Borderlands and Destiny and stuff, where incremental loot was so prevalent.
Yeah.
Where like you would, because there was so much loot in the game, you'd end up with stuff that's only marginally better than what you already had, but it's an improvement. Therefore, you re-equip to whatever is technically the best gear you have at the time, and the cycle rinses and repeats and stuff. And a lot of like modern games will also pull, modern AAA games especially, will kind of pull from that mentality, even when they don't have like a giant like loot-based equipment system.
Yeah.
So you get armor that's like plus 0.2% extra protection against poison or something. It's like, thanks, I guess.
Yep. It's technically an improvement.
Yeah, that stuff kind of annoys me a little bit. And it's a little bit why I kind of fell out of love with games like Borderlands.
Yeah.
Like, if I have one real gripe with Stranger of Paradise, oh my god, do they give you way too much loot in that game?
Yeah.
So much loot. Like, I was constantly having to clear my inventory just because I got so much stuff. And like 90% of it, I wouldn't even use because it wasn't as good as what I had equipped.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a lot of loot. But yeah. So I feel like I, as the RPG guy, have to talk about some RPGs, I guess.
Yeah, this is kind of your episode technically, and it's
I feel like I should probably talk about an RPG, I guess.
Very much in your wheelhouse right here.
Yeah.
So I like Final Fantasy a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
We talked about the fourth one.
Yeah. It's my favorite franchise.
Time for the other 15.
It contains my favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy X. You want to talk about a game that is just perfect, especially as an RPG? Final Fantasy X. It checks all the boxes. It has an amazing story. It has amazing characters. It has amazing combat. It has fun mini games, except for that bleeping chocobo. But Blitzball is great.
Yes.
It has probably the best RPG progression system of all time in a video game. The sphere grid is so good. It is what every single skill tree in a video game that's come after it has wanted to be and failed. The sphere grid is such a perfectly executed progression system that when you when you're just using the basic sphere grid, it takes your character along their intended path, but then you also have the freedom later on to break them off and customize them even outside of that. And then it also gives you things like specific spheres that allow you to learn just a skill that another character has already unlocked without having to actually physically travel to their point in the sphere grid and unlock it that way and stuff. And then you get to the expert sphere grid, which is basically that, but on steroids, because now a lot of the blocks that limit you are out of the way. A little bit of it's rearranged and stuff. So you have to really have knowledge of how the grid functions before you really start to use the expert grid. It's why they call it the expert grid.
Right.
But it gives you so much freedom to customize your characters without actually having to worry about like taking a misstep if you don't know quite what you're doing and stuff, which can still happen, but it's, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like the sphere grid is so perfectly put together. You have different nodes for each of your core stats. You have nodes for abilities, and as you progress across the grid, like every level basically allows you to move one space on the sphere grid.
Yeah.
And on these spaces, you can find either it's an empty node, so there's nothing there, but there are special spheres that you can get that allow you to put things there. So like say you have like an HP sphere in your inventory, you can change an empty node into an HP sphere that maybe gives you like an extra 400 HP. And then you activate it from there, you get the extra 400 HP. And then as you progress around the sphere grid, you come across these locked spheres, and they come in different levels. There's level 1, 2, 3, and I think up to 4 lock spheres. And when you unlock those, they either give you access to a small little path that gives you like a really powerful really powerful ability. Like all the strongest spells in the game are kind of locked behind lock spheres, like your Ultimas and stuff like that. Is Ultima in Final Fantasy X? I can't remember. But what they also allow you to do is once you progress to a certain point in the character's path, also they all kind of intermingle. So what I like to do, especially with Titus each playthrough, is when I get to the point where his sphere grid connects to Auron's, by that point in the game, he's already learned basically everything on his natural sphere grid that he needs. So I like to take him down Auron's path from there, because Auron has a lot of strength spheres in his path. So because Auron is the tank, he hits a lot harder than the rest of the party. Except for, well, I think him and Waka hit about the same. So depending on how I'm feeling that playthrough, I tend to go between Auron and Waka, but I usually just go down Auron's path. But yeah, so just doing that allows you to really like flesh out and customize your characters more, and it's just perfect. Like none of the stat increases feel like inconsequential like a lot of modern skill trees do.
Yeah.
Like when you get that extra 200 HP unlocked, like that's an extra 200 HP. That's a pretty big deal in Final Fantasy X. Like it doesn't sound like a lot, but in the context of the game it's in, that's a pretty decent boost to your stats.
Mm-hmm.
And like every single like strength node or like your magic nodes and stuff, that extra 1 or 2 stats actually feels like it makes a difference in the game. Like in my current playthrough, I think I've said that before. In my current playthrough right now, Yuna hits harder with black magic than Lulu, the black mage.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. And the fun thing about Yuna is all of the Aeon's stats are also tied to Yuna's stats. So the stronger she gets, the stronger your Aeons get.
Yep.
So most of my Aeons now do a full 9,999 damage on their overdrives.
Disgusting.
Which is so good. Especially Bahamut. Bahamut is ridiculous.
Right.
He's already ridiculous just by default because he's one of the strongest Aeons in the game. You get him pretty late in the game.
Yeah.
But also just the boosts that he's getting from Yuna's stats right now are just so stupid. But yeah, Final Fantasy X is very good, and it's a game that everybody needs to play because it is fantastic.
I agree.
I love that game. But also, there are other games in the series that I enjoy, like Final Fantasy VIII, which is my favorite of the PlayStation era Final Fantasies. Or my second favorite, depending what day it is, because I also really love Final Fantasy IX, and I can't decide between the two. But Final Fantasy VIII is fantastic, gets too much flack. The junction system is not bad. It's not, like, great, but it's not bad. Emphasis on not being bad. Like, you can do some really cool stuff with it, and you can also just break the game with it. That's kind of what makes it fun.
Yeah.
You can go and just have a party of level 1 characters, but still have massively overpowered stats because of how the junction system works.
Wild.
Yeah, it's great. Because basically how the junction system works is you group up a Guardian Force, which is what they call the summons in that game, with a character. That Guardian Force has a specific set of stats that you can then junction magic spells to. And each spell that you junction to a stat increases that stat based on how that spell in particular interacts with that particular stat. So if you have like 99 stocks of a Curaga spell and you junction those 99 spells to your HP, you're going to get a massive buff to your HP. And then the sort of same thing applies to like offensive magics being junctioned to your offensive stats, stuff like that. It's really cool. And I love the way I love that system. I have never really encountered a problem with it that so much of the internet seems to complain about when I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII. And I literally just 90% of the time am using the auto junction feature that just automatically puts the quote unquote best spell for each slot that I can junction to in that slot. Like it's not that complicated or bad. It's really fun. And Squall is still my favorite character in the series because the way his story progresses is so relatable for me. Like, especially like 90% of the people that hate him never got past disc 1 in this game and have never actually experienced the way that his story progresses and opens up. So like I just ignore anyone that has a negative opinion towards Squall because they don't understand the character or the progression that he has. But he's got a very, very good story and how he like starts out in such a shell and then breaks out of it.
Yeah.
Throughout the course of the game. And I love Final Fantasy VIII. I also love Final Fantasy IX, which needs a freaking remake. Well, it doesn't need a remake. But rumors of remake have been going on for years. So just where is it?
Yeah.
What? Where? Come on, Square Enix. It's 25 years old now. Give us the remake. Just give it to us.
Old hearing that.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII wasn't 25 when we got Final Fantasy VII Remake. Or was it? I can't math. No, it wasn't yet. It was 18. No, it was... let's see. Remake came out in 2020. It was 23 when we got Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
Gonna make you feel worse. When Remake Part 3 comes out, it'll be the same year that Final Fantasy VII turns 30.
Jeez.
This isn't Link to the Past yet. We
It's
don't
not.
do this.
Yeah, these games are old, but they're so good. I love Final
True.
Fantasy VII. It had one of the most gut-wrenching plot twists in all the video games, and now everybody knows about it because of the internet. But back in the day, we had the internet, but we didn't have the internet in the same way. And it was gut-wrenching. And so incredibly well executed in a way that I don't think really any game had ever done before it. And I don't think any game has really done after it, honestly. It's one of the most iconic moments in video games. Let's see here. Yes. The most recent Final Fantasy 16. It's not really an RPG, but it is still amazing. It is just a straight up Devil May Cry action game, but
Kind of what
it has
looked like
yeah.
from everything I've seen of it.
Yeah, it's not an RPG, but I don't hold that against the game because it's an incredible Devil May Cry style action game, which I have been starving for, and it has the story and world progression of an RPG. So the two of those things intermingled is kind of really good.
Yeah.
Like, I love that about that game. It felt like I was playing a old school, like classic, traditional action game, but I was also getting like the story and the characters and the character interactions and like all of the deep emotions and stuff that you get out of an RPG. Because that's Final Fantasy's MO is story writing.
Yeah. Good lord. Final Fantasy does story right.
Wait, you cut out there for a second.
That Final Fantasy story right.
It's so good. Even when it's not that good, it's still good. Like I'd still say Final Fantasy 2, all the way on the NES, has a good story for its time. It told that story that the best that the NES would allow it to tell it.
Yeah.
And then now you come all the way forward and you have like a game with a story like Final Fantasy 16's. Like
Final Fantasy May Cry.
Like that game will rip your heart out. It's the story in Final Fantasy 16 is so incredible. The story in all the best ones are so incredible, and then all the less best ones are still really good.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 12 it's okay. Yeah. It's an okay game, but the story is still pretty decent.
Yeah. From what I've gathered, ranking Final Fantasies is more like one of them's got to be the least good.
Exactly. There are no bad Final Fantasy games. Don't let anyone tell you. Well, except for Crystal Chronicles.
That's not a main series game.
Main series Final Fantasy, there are no bad games. None of them are bad. Some of them are just less good than the others. I'll die on that hill.
Ooh.
I will. But yeah, because I love Final Fantasy. It literally changed my life. I am the person that I am now because I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time when I was 8 years old. And I bought Final Fantasy X as the first game when we got my PlayStation 2 on Christmas Day in 2004.
Hell yeah.
Those games shaped me. Literally. I have been chasing the same type of feeling I got out of Final Fantasy X ever since I first played that game. I mean,
yeah.
Plenty of games have gotten me close, but none of them have been as monumental as Final Fantasy X for me. But plenty of games have gotten me close. Like the Xenoblade series. Because I love those games too.
It's true.
And like, I don't think any games really outside of the RPG genre also really gave me a feeling similar to what I got from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not to say I don't or have not loved games outside of the RPG genre, because that is completely false.
Yeah.
I mean, I love first-person shooters also. That's also one of my favorite genres of game.
Shoutouts to Doom for being Doom.
Yeah, shoutouts to Doom. But, and like, I like varieties of games and stuff, but nothing made me feel anything like Final Fantasy X has. That's why it's my favorite game of all time.
Yeah. It's a very good favorite game of all time.
It is very good. Oh, also, I should also mention, while I'm mentioning RPGs, so we don't get yelled at, the Persona games.
Oh yeah.
Those are also very, very good games. There's a remake of Persona 4 coming out next year, I think. I don't think they've announced the release date on it yet. They basically just announced it and said, "Hey, we're doing this," after Yuri Lowenthal spoiled it on Twitter.
Accidentally.
Or no, it wasn't even Twitter. He spoiled it on Blue Sky. That's even better.
Persona definitely has a look to it that's like
It
very
does.
iconic. Which I don't think there's many RPGs that do that.
Not really. No, it like they're kind of like modern day type, like basically like slice of life high school like type of game.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of other RPGs out there that really do it the way Persona does it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then also that combined with the music in the series is just
Yeah.
it's like that's the one thing that, especially like the iconic art styles, the like ever since Persona 3, the menu designs are absolutely spectacular, but the
Mhm.
music
Yeah.
is incredible. And one day they'll announce Persona 6, and I am so curious what the music style is going to be in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first experience with Persona was Persona 4 Golden, which is still my favorite in the series. Got it when I got my Vita way back in like 2014, I think. And I had no idea what to expect out of that game going into it. It came with my Vita.
Yep.
So I tried it and ended up falling in love with it. Just the way that it mixes like daily life with RPG dungeon crawling and stuff is
Yeah.
a great formula.
Yeah. It was a while back, but B-Man, one of our Discord members, streamed one of the Persona games.
I think it was 4.
I think so too. Yeah. It was a really cool looking RPG.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for slice of life animes and stuff. So you mix that with an RPG, doing cool RPG stuff, like summoning cool looking monsters and stuff to fight for you and all that. It's great. Like the Persona was so up my alley.
Yeah. My introduction to the Persona series was through Persona Ultimax.
The fighting game.
The fighting game.
That makes sense.
Yep. It was an Arc System Works game, naturally. So.
Yep.
Yep. They do actually just kind of make some of the best fighting games.
You know, and I'm surprised with how much they've milked Persona 5. How have we not got a Persona 5 fighting game yet?
Yeah.
I mean, Arc System Works is doing a ton of stuff right now, including the new Marvel game that got announced. But like,
with Iron Man that looks like a friggin' Gundam.
He does. It's so cool. But like, Persona 5 is almost 10 years old now. How have we not got the fighting game spinoff yet?
Yeah.
Come on. I know a lot of people are tired of seeing Persona 5. I kind of am too. But Persona 5 fighting game.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get kind of like a Dynasty Warriors style spinoff that was really good. Persona 5 Strikers.
Yeah.
That was actually a direct sequel to the game. and it was really good. But just give us a fighting game also, please.
Yeah.
And they also made a turn-based strategy spinoff called Persona 5 Tactica. That was when I was really starting to feel Persona 5 fatigue.
Fair.
Because, like, yes, I love this game. I love these characters. I love the story and concept and everything about it.
I'd love something else, please.
Please give me something else, Atlas. And they're like, okay, fine. Here's Persona 3 again. Here's Persona 4 again. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'll take it because ever since I played 5, I was like, man, I wish 3 and 4 looked and played like this. So now we're getting that at least.
Yeah.
But it's been almost 10 years. Where's Persona 6?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Come on, Atlas. What are you doing?
Insert, we really got GTA, or we really got something else before GTA 6 meme.
Yeah. I feel like it's even more egregious with like RPGs that they don't make sequels because a lot of times there's stuff going on that you want to know what's next,
Yeah.
and then you're just kind of sitting there like, what happens in this story?
Yeah. Yeah. What happened to Axel going down the orbital elevator? I want to know, Capcom.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, I thought Axel Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
Because speaking of waiting for sequels, if you're a fan of specific RPG franchises.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Kingdom Hearts fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also to the Mega Man Mega fan.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to our Axel either.
Fans of fans of any Valve property at all.
Yeah.
They can't count past 2. So just
can't.
just stop expecting them to.
Yep.
They can't do it. It's physically impossible.
Yeah.
Gabe
I remember
Newell
seeing something
looks
about
at himself in the mirror. He's like, I only have 2 eyes, so I have 2 ears, so I can't count past that. I just
I only
can't.
have 2 hands to count with.
I only
There's
have
only
2
2
hands to count
hands.
with. Yeah, I only have 2 hands.
Yep.
How many fingers are on those hands? What are fingers? I only have 2 hands.
He's a Lego figure.
What's a finger? I got hands. Yeah, but yeah.
Samoa Joe knows he can't beat me.
Granted, Atlas did give us Metaphor Refantasio last year, which was an amazing RPG with one of the best villains in any RPG that I've played. Like, the guy is up there with Sephiroth.
Dang.
That's how good a villain this guy is.
That's some high praise considering everyone loves Sephiroth.
Yes. Yeah. Like, Luis was just an incredible villain. Like, every single time that guy is on screen, like, he just has your full attention. He is such a compelling character. He also has a very punchable face, which helps when he's a villain.
Yeah, that also makes for a really good villain character.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's like the cycle of aura curses from that one Magic the Gathering commander set where he's got like the Pidgeotto haircut.
Oh yeah.
He just looks so extremely punchable.
Yeah.
And it's funny that he is the face of all of the aura curses from that set.
Yeah, another series that we haven't really touched on yet is the Tales series.
Yeah.
We did a little bit, right? When we're talking about continual stories.
The Trails series.
No, that's the Trails series.
Oh God,
yeah.
That's
we're
super
talking
confusing.
about the Tales series.
Yeah.
Like Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
Quicksliver and Quicksilver. I don't know. How did that go?
Quicksliver and Quicksliver.
Long
There we
John
go. Thank you.
Slivers.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Still waiting for someone to make that edit.
We serve only slivers that have been killed fresh.
Yep.
Sliver even tastes like. Would you prefer an M14 sliver or like a traditional sliver?
Probably a traditional one. The M14 ones look too people-like.
All right, what were we talking about? Tails? Trails? One or the other?
Tails, trails, and automobiles.
Christian Bale.
Indeed.
I have a feeling this is going to be a 3+ hours episode.
What?
Nonsense. But yeah, the Tales series. I haven't played as many of them as I would like to say I have.
Those are definitely
but I've never
more
not
on
liked them.
They are a interesting hybrid approach of the action RPG and turn-based RPG series.
They are.
It's like they very much have the sort of traditional RPG overworld, but then combat is entirely action-based.
Yeah.
Like, you have traditional enemy encounters, but they are like full-on action-based encounters rather than turn-based encounters, which is really cool.
Yeah, the way the combat works in those games is really neat.
Yeah.
And sometimes frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting there, you're in the middle of a combo, and then you run out of stamina, and you're like, oh, I guess I just stop here.
Yep.
But,
yeah. I mean, my sister is a huge fan of Tales of Symphonia.
Yes. Symphonia is really good. I find that the more games in the series I play, though, the more I like more than Symphonia.
Yeah.
Like, Tales of Xillia, I think I played that last year.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation 3. That game is fantastic, and it's really cool because it's a dual protagonist setup, and you can actually choose which of the two characters you like start with and is like the main character that you focus control on as you play through the game. And then depending on which character you start with, like you'll see certain scenes throughout the game from their perspective, and like there's points where the party splits up, and in those moments and stuff you'll go with the person that you selected, and then there's something that's going on with the other character that's happening completely off screen simultaneously, and then if you play through the game with the other character you'll get to play through those scenes instead. It's really cool. It's like, apparently I chose the character that's more meant for the second playthrough for my first playthrough, because every single time they split off and regrouped, it was like a whole bunch of stuff happened, and I'm just like, wait, who are you? Like, whole new characters are introduced, and they're just kind of there, like they've been there all along. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, who's this? Are you gonna introduce me to our new friend here? Hello?
Yeah, it's like Deus Ex Machina, but it's a character that historically the characters already knew already.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such a good game. And then, of course, there's Tales of Vesperia has been my favorite for, well, ever since I played it, really. That came out on the 360, which was kind of a big thing back in the day because it was, like, up to that point, like, with the exception of Symphonia on the GameCube, up to that point, the majority of the Tales series has been exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then during the PS3 era, they released Tales of Vesperia on the 360 as an Xbox exclusive. But then also the PlayStation got Tales of Xillia and Tales of Graces and Tales of Symphonia and a sequel to Symphonia.
Dawn of the New World.
And then there was something on the Wii too, I think.
Dawn of the New World was on the Wii.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was just interesting Vesperia being Xbox exclusive. And then they released like an extra, like not quite DLC, but like an expanded version of it with an extra epilogue chapter, basically. They expanded the game a bit and re-released it on the PS3 in Japan only.
Naturally.
And then we didn't really get that extra content until the remaster came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vesperia is very, very good.
Yeah.
And also the most recent one, Tales of Arise, is also fantastic. Like, all of these games are so good, and their story structure is pretty similar from game to game. Like, you basically get to a certain point in the game, something bad happens, and then there's like a whole second half of the game that unfolds after that. Or like it's like it builds up almost to a final boss, and then the final boss isn't the final boss.
Plot twist.
Yeah, but they all they all do it to a degree. But they get you every single time.
Yep.
Like I've played enough of them at this point to kind of predict it, but I still like enjoy how they get you there, and also what comes afterward. So it's like, even knowing that this is a formula that the series likes to follow, it's like it doesn't ruin it at all.
Yeah.
And like still, like I still get genuinely surprised by a lot of the ways that they handle that trope. They are very good games.
Yeah.
But anywho,
Oh, I had one more I wanted to talk about.
oh, go for it.
There's actually a bit of a multiple versions of this, but the Mario RPGs, between the original the Paper Mario series, which is slowly getting farther and farther away from RPGs, and then the Mario and Luigi series. These guys cover things, or these guys involve things we haven't really talked about too much, which is like a platformer intertwined with an RPG. I don't think there's many of those to begin with. I have played some of these, each of these. Have you guys played? How much of these have you guys played?
I've played some of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Okay, yeah, that's the same for me there. I hear some of those games get pretty good. Partners in Time and Bowser's Inside Story. Something I need to pick up for myself at some point. But yeah, definitely very unique because of that. Also unique because in all of these, Mario doesn't speak. And in RPG and Paper Mario, the story generally gets told through NPCs talking to your partner characters, which sounds like a pretty hard creative restriction that you'd have to work in. But yet, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is one of the best. I was reminded by this because it does have a twist boss too, I believe.
What a twist.
They end up fighting the Shadow Queen.
Ah, yes, the Shadow.
Yeah, that's another one of those GameCube games that I'm like, why did I get rid of it?
Fair.
I mean, it's been re-released, which is nice. I don't think they did too much for the re-release of Paper Mario 2.
Well, they completely overhauled the graphics.
Well, yeah, but that's to be
I mean, like,
they made it
so
look
much
even
as
more
like
paper.
well, I mean, so much as like it was a like complete redraw of the graphics, not just like, hey, we're gonna touch this up, upscale it a bit. Like, it was a complete graphic redraw.
Yeah.
Well, because technically Paper Mario, both of them use sprites for the characters. I mean, they're paper. They might as well. But yeah, you can actually go to TSR and get reasonably sized sprites for both of them. They just get way bigger in Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
But yeah, both very good games. Paper Mario trailed off. Some people will tell you Super Paper Mario is good. You'll also get other people saying, no, I haven't played it. Haven't seen a copy for it on sale anywhere for a Wii. The story is good. It's generally consensus. But the Mario and Luigi games don't have partners. Going back to an earlier topic. So, like, the story is entirely told through the NPCs, which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Also, the sprites from that game, super nostalgic for me. There's so much stuff that used those sprites in fan works.
Such as Super Mario.
You cut off there, but I'm assuming you're saying either 63 or Bro Z.
Bros Z.
Yes. Yep. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Talk about a story that would be a good RPG. That'd be super cool.
Yep. It would be a cooler crossover than just Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's how have we not gotten a better Mario crossover than the Olympics?
Yeah.
I mean, an RPG would be kind of cool for that.
Yeah.
Since, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of casts that, we'd have the huge Sonic casts compared to the comparatively smaller Mario cast, but still, like, you could have an RPG where you flip back and forth between both worlds. Oh.
Yep.
Because, like, a proper platformer, I don't think would work just because of how different the two are.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
just
that feels like a game where the Super Mario RPG or Mario and Luigi RPG series would really kind of flourish there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that goes to storytelling being things that RPG style games excel at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Storytelling is, RPG's bread and butter is definitely storytelling of, like, I don't know where it's going with that. Definitely, yeah. You got a story you want to tell, you want to do it in a video game form, RPG, or Telltale.
Mm-hmm.
Life is Strange a Square Enix game?
Yes.
Okay. Thought so. Because that's the only, like, other Telltale game style thing I can think of that isn't Telltale. No, wait. Was Minecraft Story Mode Telltale?
Yes.
Okay. Definitely is sort of adjacent to an RPG in some ways, of, like, choices you make affect characters.
You're playing the role of the storyteller.
But yeah, when games make a spin-off RPG, a lot of times the story of the RPG game is, like, the coolest story in the series, but it's not the base gameplay style from the games. Like, definitely Thousand Year Door or Super Paper Mario would be the best Mario storyline, because, like, what else do you have to pick from? Galaxy 1, I guess, is the only one that I think that was a good platformer story.
Yeah. But that's really it for storytelling in the Mario games.
Yeah. Sunshine tried to do some storytelling, but that didn't end up being good.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they scaled back in the future.
Yeah.
But anyway, should we move along?
Yeah, time to feel old again.
Yay! Time to feel old again. Because it's time for our weekly link to the past, where we feel old all the time.
Yep.
This week, a game that turns 35 years old in Japan.
Turns
On
Colin
today,
years old.
the date of recording, 8 days before my 35th birthday.
Found one that's older than all of us.
Found one that's older than all of us. Teenage
Finally.
Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan for the Game Boy. This was the first of 3 Ninja Turtles games that would release for the Game Boy between the years of 1990 and 1993. It's the only one of those 3 that I own on the Game Boy. I have them all through the Cowabunga collection that came out a couple years ago.
I believe I have this one Game Boy as well.
It's a pretty okay side-scrolling action beat-em-up game for the Game Boy. It's definitely limited by the Game Boy hardware, and that gameplay is very slow. The walking speed in this game is horrendous. But it was, I don't even remember when we bought it. It was probably like 2004, 2005, something like that. We saw it at a GameStop, or I don't even know if it was a GameStop. It was just a random game store we were in. I was like, ooh, a Ninja Turtles game for the Game Boy. It was really cheap, so we bought it. And just ever since
Bring
then,
the turtles with you in your pocket.
Yeah, it was like just became a game that I would play every now and then when we were in the car with my Game Boy and stuff.
This is very crunchy looking.
Yeah. But the music was surprisingly good for being Game Boy music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
They did a pretty good rendition of the Ninja Turtles theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so when did this 90? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I've actually heard that the third game, Radical Rescue, which is also a $100 Game Boy cartridge now, even after Cowabunga Collection came out. But Radical Rescue is kind of like a Metroidvania. So
this
haven't played that one yet, but I mean I have it on the Cowabunga Collection, so I've been meaning to.
So this was paired with the original. Well, came a little while after the original movie that came out in the 90s. The first one, the good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for this game just because I've had it for so long and I like the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the best Ninja Turtles game ever made. It's definitely not the best Game Boy game ever made. But it's okay as a Ninja Turtles game for the Game Boy.
Yeah, as a Game Boy, you Game Boy game, you let a lot of stuff pass.
Yeah,
that's true. Yep.
I mean, aside from the really slow movement speed, it is pretty fun.
That's some decent sprite art for black and white.
Yeah. But yeah, happy 35th birthday, Follow the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
I'll be joining you in 8 days.
Yeah. Happy 31st birthday to Colin.
Yeah, indeed.
Let's see. At the
Happy
time,
birthday.
Segue here.
At the time this episode goes live, it'll be 5 days until I turn 35.
Happy birthday,
nice.
old man.
Kill me. Anyway,
No,
let's get out
me
of here.
first. Me first.
Kill me. Okay, let's get out of here.
Nice segue is our next episode will not be coming out in 2 weeks because of Colin's birthday.
Oh yeah. So take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's our August is our annual. We're taking an episode off time because people have birthdays.
Yep.
Sometimes those people is me.
Yeah.
Other times those people is married to Lucas.
That's true. It's kind of like how in May we're got Mother's Day and then also my wedding anniversary usually.
Yep.
And my birthday, but
and Neal's birthday.
Yeah, May is just a terrible month for us, but
yeah.
Yep. August should really just be this 1 week that we're off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of episode 79. Lucas, where can you be found outside the podcast?
You can find me on Linktree at linktr.ee/Karn_evil_999. It's got links to follow me on Blue Sky, Twitter, YouTube, where I post long plays of the games that we talk about in our That One Game series of episodes. You can add me on Steam in case you want to get pinged by all of my Final Fantasy IV or Pixel Remaster notifications. Because that's what I've been playing there. And then, of course, links to catch up on the podcast and join our Discord. That's all at linktr.ee/Karn_evil_999.
And where can Neal be found?
I can also be found in the trees, linktr.ee/VMK89. You got links to my Twitch channel where I stream Minecraft Monday, as well as podcast related stuff, my old Twitter and my old YouTube. But yeah, Colin, where can they find you?
Yes, in the trees as well. linktr.ee/delicious morsels. Let's see. I got a new song coming out soon. Perhaps like my goal is to have the video out this Friday. So the Friday immediately coming after this episode going live on that Wednesday. So my goal is 2 days after this episode goes live, I have a new song on YouTube. It's a song that I am very, very excited about. I've been working on this song for what feels like forever, and it's finally almost time. I'm almost done with the artwork, which means I can start the video. I can't wait. It's my first song to use Gumi, which is one of my favorite vocal synths, my favorite actual Vocaloid, but we won't get into the weeds of what is and is not a Vocaloid. Basically, it just means, was this vocal synth ever on the actual software Vocaloid? In which case, Gumi was. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so look forward to that. It's a really good song, I promise. And yeah, also, I should probably mention the YouTube channel that it's going to be on, which is youtube.com/@deliciousmorselsmusic. Go like and subscribe there. I'm like almost at 600 subscribers now.
Hell yeah.
Which is insane.
Damn.
It's insane. I'm also getting closer to my watch hours cap that I need. Cap, I don't know. I'm halfway to my 3,000 watch hours I need to enable the first set of monetization tools for my channel.
Hell yeah.
Because I've already hit the 500 subscribers that I needed for that. And then I need 3,000 watch hours. I'm at just over 1,600 watch hours as of right now. And then that lets me enable channel memberships, super chats, and I can host like merchandise, links to store pages and stuff on my videos and stuff, which means I will have to start getting the merch store together. And I already have some ideas for that.
Hell yeah.
So that'll be coming soon. I think I'll probably wait until I hit 1,000 subscribers before I actually launch the merch store, but it's coming. I got plans. I'm excited. Like, this whole Vocaloid journey has been incredible, and it's only starting.
Yeah.
Like, it is just starting.
I'm so happy for how well your Vocaloid producer career has taken off.
Yeah, same.
I am still very in disbelief. Like, it's just... I knew something would happen eventually. I wasn't expecting it so soon.
Yeah.
I'm just constantly trying to wrap my head around it.
Oh.
But it's fun. It's been really fun.
Yeah. I mean, quit making bangers if you don't like the success of that.
Right? But yeah, anyway, rambling aside, linktr.ee/delicious morsels. You can find all my links on there, including the link to the YouTube channel where this song is going to be live on Friday. Hopefully.
It's a good one. I've heard a preview.
Yeah. It's really good. I'm not even just saying that because I made it. Like it's really good.
It's really good.
But yeah, if you liked what you heard here today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button where that's an option. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because I hear they like that stuff. Hit the like button if that's a thing, and feel free to share this episode with a friend because we're going to be back later.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
we're going to be back in a span of time that is a little bit longer than 2 weeks with another episode. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember,
Play for the cows.
Stay for the Bears.